Welcome back to DTC Today. We're here today with a very special guest, and his many talents and accomplishments are directly in line with a life of passion and purpose. And this is a dedicated man. I'm honored to have him in the studio today. We have Dr. Ming Wang with us of the Wang Vision Institute. Welcome to the show, Dr. Wang.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you so much for coming. Now, maybe our viewers cannot imagine what a big deal it is for him to come to us, but Dr. Wang is a renowned surgeon, and we have some great news and some things that we're going to save for the end, so viewers, stay tuned. We have a surgery that Dr. Wang has done with a brand new technology, and he's the first surgeon in the world to accomplish this, and we're very excited. But you are not a one-dimensional man. The accomplishments, Dr. Wang, that you have done are absolutely world-reaching at this point. It's not just what you've done in LASIK technology and eye surgeries, but you are a wonderful person that gives back, not only in America, but you have ministries and things that you're doing in China as well. Tell me a little bit about the Wang Foundation.
Yeah. You know, with the development of medical technology today, they always usually associate with a higher cost.
Yes.
And however, they are often intended for those patients who are sickest. And so you have this gap between the high cost of medicine, the latest advancement in medicine, and the low affordability of the very patients, the sickest patients that these latest medicine, advancement medicine is intended for. In every field of medicine, we have that gap. But in the eye especially, we're developing new technologies for restoring sight all the time. But yet those new technologies are more and more expensive, but yet they are intended for the sickest patient who tends to have the least ability to pay. So this is a system problem. This is a systematic problem affecting all phases of medicine. How do you bridge the gap between high cost of medicine and the low affordability of the very patients that these medical advancement is intended
would be able to help, that's right.
So we feel that there's no magic bullet, there's no magic solution, but maybe perhaps one way to bridge that gap is by doctors contributing their times and effort, by getting the medical instrument companies to donate their instruments, but most important, to get the public involved, to have a foundation, to have events such as Eyeball that celebrate music, celebrate dance, and most importantly, celebrate the spirit of giving.
Absolutely.
So everybody chip in so that we can all play a part to bridge this gap between the high cost of medicine and the low affordability of those patients who need the help the most.
Now, Dr. Wang, he was speaking of the Eyeball, and for those of you who are not aware, the Eyeball is a ballroom dance charity event that you host annually, and it is epic, and it is known not only around the state of Tennessee, but it has become a national thing. And with the popularity of Dancing with the Stars, I know that you've been interviewed multiple times because you are an award-winning ballroom dancer along with your partner, your beautiful wife, JJ. And so this is one of those things, hundreds of people come out and attend this event, and you have inspired the discipline and the love of dancing, and you know, that's, you'd think that Dr. Wang would have no time in his busy schedule to be able to learn yet another skill that you have perfected. But tell me a little bit about that. How did you get into ballroom dancing?
I learned ballroom dancing as a medical student at the Harvard Medical School in Boston.
Good way to spend your Harvard time while he's busy learning all the advancements in technology.
Didn't study enough medicine. But actually I started learning dancing with a few other students because we wanted to do something that would change our image. You know, Harvard students are bookworms and only knew how to hit the book.
The softer side of a genius.
So we want to do something that demonstrate that we can not only good students for studying chemistry, mathematics, but also
geniuses can dance too. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, that's why we decided to learn the ballroom dancing. But through the learning of ballroom dancing over the years, I've learned that it is an art. It is art of obviously beauty, or breathtaking beauty and elegance. But more importantly, it's an art form that requires discipline. And you have to train for these steps, you have to train how to move and how to dance. But most importantly, it's an art that demonstrates sensitivity and connectivity between one individual to another human being. I think today is in a society, paradoxically, with the internet and all these communication technologies, that very often human beings are more isolated. You know, a teenager sitting in a dark corner, playing around computers,
got their phones,
texting.
It's become an antisocial situation.
They forget about how they feel, emotion, the voice of a human being, the touch of a human being. So with the technology communication, we are in some ways becoming more isolated.
Yes.
So art forms such as ballroom dancing kind of bring back that connectivity. Now, you know, because in order to dance well, no matter how great dancer one is, oneself, if you don't know how to move together with another human being, you cannot do ballroom dancing.
So it's actually teaching a good moral stance for teamwork and for consideration of your partner.
Yeah, awareness.
So maybe this should be marriage counseling, ballroom dancing, marriage. So you've opened up all new doors, Dr. Wang. Now, you've done LASIK surgery for not only thousands of people in this area and into China, but you've also been able to help celebrities as well. I know that your roster includes Kenny Chesney, Charlie Daniels, and Dolly Parton. There's an interesting thing that I recently learned about you. You performed with Dolly. Mm-hmm. Now, how did that come about? Was that before the LASIK, after the LASIK? Tell me a little bit about that.
Dolly came to me for LASIK eye surgery, and we went very well. And one day she came back for one of her checkups, and she said, "Dr. Wang, I'm not here for my eyes today."
He's doing his best Southern accent at this point.
That's right. And I said, "Okay, Dolly, what you're here for?" She said, "I want to play some music with you." I said, "You? A legend in country music with me?" And she said, "Yeah, don't be surprised." She said, "I heard about the fact that you play this Chinese violin called erhu." And she said, "My idea is maybe we can make music together, East and West, you know, create something new." So we went to the studio, and she had me listen to this country song. It's an old song about Civil War, a love song, beautiful song. And after I listened, and she said, "Okay, it's your turn. You play your Chinese instrument. We're gonna, you know, accompany my song." And I said, "Okay, show me the score." She said, "I have no score for you. I don't know how the Chinese instrument was done to accompany a country song of America." And I said, "Okay, do you have score for your song? You just, you know, have me listen." She said, "I have no score either." She's so talented.
She can just pick it right up.
Pick up the key and just. So I said, "All right, so you have no score for my instrument, you have no score for your song, and so we have to create something." So we sat together, Dolly, me, and another friend. We just keep on listening to this recording of the song that she sang and recorded, and over, we're trying to imagine what is it like an ancient Chinese instrument would sound like to accompany an American country song.
And so you collaborated together.
We collaborated, and we imagined, and we tried it out, we wrote it, I played it, we recorded, we finished in one night.
Oh my goodness. And it turned out beautiful. And I know that you can actually listen to that on your website,
right.
WangVisionInstitute.com. And I know the viewers are going to be very curious about that. And it was beautiful. And that was the first time I had ever heard that instrument played. I had seen one, but I had never heard one performed. And I just think that's such a neat story, how your doors of success, God just keeps opening more doors for you. And you just keep walking through them, because you could eventually say, "I'm too busy, I'm not interested, and I've helped enough people." Anything you've done in your life, what amazes me personally is you could have stopped at any one point and said, "That's enough. This is a successful life for me," and no one would ever have argued the point. But you keep walking through those doors, and every year I hear more things. Dr. Wang's done this, Dr. Wang's done that, and it is a ministry and a blessing what you're doing for the world, not just for our nation and for China. You've just opened so many doors. And speaking of open doors, you are the first surgeon to have ever performed 3D LASIK. And that sounds very complicated. I mean, you know, the LASIK previously seemed complicated to me, and then the bladeless LASIK, that was just completely innovative. Tell me about this 3D LASIK and how that's going to change our world.
Shem, I'd like to kind of comment about what you said just a moment ago.
Sure.
About the drive of wanting to do more. That drive of wanting to do more in my life has come from having the experience of having not. And in this country, especially students and kids, grow up with lots of material goods and lots of things. But in material things, and in the rest of the world today, even the children and students of many other countries are still living in poverty and struggle to just have an opportunity. And I grew up in China where during Cultural Revolution or Cultural Holocaust, where government decided that the best way to keep on governing and keep on dictating is to keep people ignorant. And the way to do that is to stop the educational process of all young people. And they did that amazingly for 10 years and destroyed the future of 20 million. From 1966 to 1976. And I call that at age 14, my educational process was stopped after junior high. And the government told me that you will be deported like 20 million others to poorest part of the country and condemned of a life of poverty and hard labor and earning $1 a month for the rest of my life.
Oh man.
Despite the fact I was a straight student, I had zero chance to go to college. So faced with that devastating fate of deportation, I had to find a way. My parents helped me. That's why I played the Chinese violin at the time, not because of love for music, but for the sheer need to survive. And later on, I got a lucky break. I met a visiting American professor who was impressed not by my English, but really by but by my persistence of asking him the single question I prepared. I only had enough English to ask him one question over and over, and had no idea what he was saying because my English was so limited. But he was impressed by my persistence and tenaciousness.
So what was this question?
Oh, the question was actually out of this British textbook. The question was, what's the academic load of your school? In Great Britain means what's the amount of credits the undergraduate is supposed to have to graduate. But it turns out in America, it doesn't have exact meaning what academic load. So he must be asking me, can you explain to me what academic load is? But of course, I have no idea what he was asking. Because I prepared all night to ask him a question, but I forgot to prepare how to listen to an answer. So I kept on repeating. Finally, he realized that my English was non-existent, really, but I was just trying to impress him so I have the opportunity to come to America. So he was impressed, indeed, and he lended me $50. So 1982, with that $50, borrowed from him and borrowed enough money from relatives just enough for one-way airplane ticket to Washington D.C. National Airport.
Oh my goodness!
I was dropped out in this national airport with $50, with knowing no one in this country, but with a big American dream. My point is that my drive to do more that you mentioned came from an innate appreciation of being able to have all these opportunities in this great country of America. And coming from a situation where at age 14, my life, all future possibilities and happiness and joy was abruptly cut by a dictating communist government. And not just me, 20 million others.
Yes.
And to come from that devastating situation at the end of the line, at the end of the rope, at age 14, where one should be dreaming and a possibility future, to come to America with the opportunity to learn. And in this country, a student just need to work hard. If one works hard, pull your own weight, put up the grades, opportunity will open up to you. Where in the many parts of the world today, that's still not possible. There's so much restrictions and lack of freedom and choice. So my point is that my drive, that the things that you mentioned, I keep on doing this, doing that, come from not having all these opportunities. So nobody needs to tell me to work, because I really just appreciating all the opportunities America has given me. And also that having got these opportunities in my youth coming to this country, that I feel I have an obligation to pay back, to help others who may not have the opportunity. So my sense of obligation of foundations and others came from an appreciation to America, to the people of America, to this great nation. And also that's why I'm also particularly bothered by some of the directions where this country is going, where we forgetting this country is founded on the godly principle of freedom and choice. And we should not take that away and go in the socialistic direction. That's wrong.
Well, you know, Dr. Wang, I believe that your debt to America has been paid in full a long time, and now you are just riding on your God-given generosity. We are now grateful to you. What you have done for this country and for the advancement of medicine is renowned and highly respected. Now, 3D LASIK. You didn't stop at 2D. We're on to 3D. What does that entail?
Yeah. Modern medicine and modern life is characterized by one unique characteristic, Shem. That is, we are using technologies to extend beyond our natural ability.
Okay.
God has given us a pair of eyes, a pair of hands to see, to touch. But modern medicine, God has blessed us with technologies that extend beyond our natural capabilities of seeing and touching. For example, through MRI and CT scan, we can actually see the inside of a human body. Through computer, we can calculate much faster than our own natural brain can calculate. So medicine has got to that point. Traditional 2D eye surgeries, the doctors look through the microscope. What you see is what you get. And the eyeball is small, so there's a limited resolution and accuracy. And also what you see, what you get, you cannot see beyond it, you cannot enhance it. But through 3D technology, 3D computer, it's like going from X-ray to MRI and CT scan.
Absolutely.
From black and white film to 3D avatar.
That's a fantastic analogy.
Yes. So that technology brings a new dimension of our ability to see and touch. So instead of the 3D technology, we performed the first, as you said, the 3D LASIK surgery in the world 3 weeks ago.
Oh wow, so very recent.
Yes, very
it's amazing.
We're very proud to be the first center in the world to do that. So instead of operating on the tiny little eyeball is associated with all the intrinsic inaccuracies and imprecision because the smallness of the eyeball, and also just the naked eyes with microscope, we now magnify this eyeball into this big.
Oh, wow.
With a huge 3D screen. And instead of using your naked eyes, I use now 3D glasses.
Oh my goodness.
So see the eyeball.
You've just made thousands of students want to become an eye surgeon now. This is getting very interesting.
Exciting, yes. And it's changing our lives. So we enlarge the magnified, enhance the signal. So because this whole thing is done computer with high resolution and magnification, and computer guided technology is much more precise than human hands and naked eye with microscope.
Oh, wow.
So it's extending the human's ability, God-given ability, to see and touch. That's 3D technology.
Oh, that's just wonderful. Now, let me make sure I get this right. Dr. Wang, you are also offering to your patients for, is it the next 3 months? Is that correct? Am I right?
Yes.
That you are going from the 2D technology that you had before, and you can actually upgrade to 3D technology for no additional cost. And I know that is just unheard of. But once again, that is the type of man that Dr. Wang is. He is generous, he is philanthropic, and he cares about advancing this technology, and I think that's wonderful. Now, for more information on how you can be the next success story of Dr. Wang and Wang's Vision Institute, go to www.wangvisioninstitute.com, or you can call the number on your screen. Dr. Wang, thank you so much. It was once again an honor. You're welcome back anytime. Next time, maybe we can come to you and save you the trip out to the studio.
Yeah, come to the eyeball.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, we have to. You'll have to teach me to dance first.
Sure, no problem.